too close in the beginning, then I went too far, and now it's more, there is more justice.
Yeah. Sometimes in the middle of a scene, you will cut completely elsewhere to some other place, but the voice keeps going. There's an example in this film where during an intimate scene, you suddenly cut to the people on the street, but the scene, you keep hearing the scene, but you're seeing something completely different. Shoppers, people passing, and then back.
Yeah, but to me there is no real difference between image and sound. They are just tools, and sometimes, I mean, as I say, even if it looks a paradox, you have to listen to the image and to look at the sound, if I may say so, and well, to use it more like in the music or in the painting. That's funny because in movies you ask to movies a certain amount of things which you never ask to poetry or to paintings or to music. I wonder why.
I don't know, but it has to do with something that a reaction people have to your films. They'll say, I liked it, but I didn't really enjoy it, or I knew I was seeing something good, but I didn't understand it.
I wish it could be, but I mean, we live in a difficult society. I wish it could be, and I will try harder because, but it's not so easy. I mean, the audience has to do something too. I mean, very often, just take, I mean, an ordinary people working in, I don't know, in an office, something, he's going, or someone who is selling, let's say, a hamburger. Well, from what you know, we know about hamburger, it's not very good. Well, when he's going to a movie, whether to see a movie of me or one by Steve McQueen, he's asking the best. But he doesn't relate. He's asking to the fact that 8 hours a day is delivering a really awful piece of products. And so why Steve McQueen or me shouldn't do the same? Why not? And the audience should think they have a responsibility in the making of movie, or much more a responsibility in the making of TV, because they are making the TV. I remember a quote from CBS head saying, he was laughing because he said, people think we are producing programs. Well, only in second. First, we are producing viewers.
Producing viewers.
Producing, yeah, téléspectateurs.
Yeah. You were speaking about speed earlier. We have a clip from Every Man for Himself, and it's a controversial point in this present film because you use slow motion in a way I found unusual.
And I'm glad.
Yeah. Certainly not a cliche. And
I'm glad because it was very difficult, and I don't think I reached really always in sometimes, but sometimes it's very difficult.
Well, here's an example of it. This isn't typical of the movie in the sense that it's not this way all the way through, but here and there this happens. If you roll that, we'll have a look at what we're
Cent idées à faire vous-même. Tu... Tiens, j'ai une idée.
Toi, t'as une idée?
Ouais, tu vas bien voir. faites là?
J'ai téléphoné pour l'appartement.
Ah oui.
Qu'est-ce qui s'est passé?
On a envie de se toucher, mais on y arrive qu'en se tapant l'un sur l'autre.
Vous êtes cinglé? Dis, elle a vraiment l'air d'avoir mal.
Elle a la tête dure. C'est une fille de banquier. Je vais faire un tour.
How would how would it have been any different if you had just decided to have that at the normal speed?
Well, this is precisely the point. I did it when at the normal speed it was not possible to see things, or at least indicate a possibility which is not completely reached here, that there is something different to be seen. For example, they were fighting together,
Yeah.
but you had to indicate they were still in love together. And if you slow down, and with an analysis projector or in the editing table, but slowing down, not so the machine is stopped and then you forget, to slow it down, just to have the time to look, to have a look, to take your time to look at what you are doing. And then you discover that these movements, it can be whether a jab or whether a caress. Mm-hmm. And then, well, probably I was not capable enough of doing it completely. The shot is too long, maybe should be a change of angles and different timing. So, but I kept it that way because it was an indication. They want to love each other, but the only way they want to love each other, the only possibility is by is touching themselves through jabs. And well, so you indicate the audience there is a possibility that moves are changed, and you don't. So you use it.
Yeah. Yes, what would have been a very violent motion is sentimental somewhat this way, and more.
If not, movement. If it was, whether it would be too sentimental or whether too violent, and it had to be both together.
It's interesting that you're not entirely happy with the results. That you're not,
on
sure
this
that...
one or not. Some other time, yes. On this one, no, no.
Yeah.
But then you have to think it before. It was only because I was working in the movie, and the techniques in movie is very conservative. They don't want to link it with video, or the video people don't want to be linked with movie people. And then I thought of it later and not before the shooting. And that's why it's still awkward, you see. And it looks a bit like still like a gadget. I mean, it's like in a
gimmick.
A gimmick, like in a Sylvester Stallone movie or things like that.
Could you clear up something that's a mystery to a lot of Americans? Jerry Lewis, as much as he's admired as a comedian, but an awful lot of Americans are in the dark as to why he is so almost sanctified by Europeans, particularly the French, as a filmmaker. Whole issues of Cahiers du Cinema will talk about
he was at a time not well, but we discovered a great, quite a lot of many people in the motion. We said that Hitchcock was a great movie maker. We said that, for example, I was criticized by the fact that I said that a recent Al Ashby movie was not at all done by Al Ashby, but by the Lorimer Company, or even by the